Hello again, my name's John and welcome to another video. Now, with me being from the northeast of England, I've decided to make one of our local breads called a Stottie cake. It's also been requested on many occasions by my wonderful brother-in-law Neville, who now lives down in Manchester, and I'm sure he's missing some home cooking. But I'm not stopping at just the bread. In part 2 of this recipe, I'll be making a traditional accompaniment to this great Stottie, a homemade ham and peas pudding. Right, I'll get started by adding 145 grams, that's 5 ounces, of full or half fat lukewarm milk at about 40 degrees Celsius. That's about 105 Fahrenheit. Then add 110 grams, that's 4 ounces of water at the same temperature. Now your total weight of liquid should be 255 grams, that's 9 ounces. By the way, there's a full ingredients list at the start of the video. I'll also put one in the description box below the video, which hopefully I'll get right this time, unlike the honey and oatmeal loaf. Now to the jug of warm liquid, add the sugar, the yeast and the oil and give it a good stir and set it aside for 5 minutes to prove. If you want to learn more on testing and proving yeast, there's an example on my sandwich bread video on my channel. I'll leave a link in the description box below this video. There's also a few good tips and tricks on hand kneading the dough in that video too. Now add to a bowl the 453 grams, that's exactly 1 pound of strong white bread flour. Then add the salt and whisk that in. The best way to describe strong white bread flour is to check the ingredients on the side of the white flour bag, and what you want to see is at least 12% protein in the contents list. Now that's the flour you need for making bread. You can of course use a stand mixer for this dough. Just put everything in your machine and mix it for 10 minutes. For those without a mixer, I'll show you how to do it by hand as follows. Add the proven liquid to the flour and salt and start to bring the mixture together as shown. When it's roughly combined, tip the dough onto a worktop. Once you scrape it all out, grease the bowl with a teaspoon of vegetable oil. This is to stop the dough from sticking when it's rising a little later on. Now start to bring the dough together as shown. Once it's all together, knead the dough for 10 minutes. Okay, whether you've used a machine or you followed along with me and done it by hand, we're all at the same point. Now rub the dough ball around the bowl and give it a good coating of oil. Then cover the dough and let it rise for 1 hour in a warm and draft-free spot. Now I prepare 2 baking trays by adding a little oil and then wiping off the excess with a paper towel. The finished Stottie cakes will be about 25 centimetres, that's 10 inches in diameter. so measure your trays carefully to make sure there's enough room, as we'll be rising the bread on the trays. Right, once the hour is up, your dough should have at least doubled in size. Now turn out the dough onto a worktop and knead it for a few seconds to remove the gas from it. This is called knocking the dough back. Okay, you need to split the dough into 2 equal pieces, but rather than just guess it, use your scales to weigh them equally. Weigh the whole lot first, and this is where you'll find out if your initial measurements were correct, because the dough should now weigh 740 grams, that's 26 ounces, or at least within a couple of grams. Now cut the dough in half, and in my case each piece needs to be 370 grams, that's 13 ounces. Yours should be 2 if you did the recipe correctly at the beginning. Right, to form the Stottie shape, take a piece of dough and roll it into a ball. Flatten it with the palm of your hand, and with a rolling pin, roll it out into approximately a 20 cm or 8-inch disc, keeping it as round as possible. Put it onto a baking tray, give it a sprinkle of plain or all-purpose flour, then cover the dough with a lightweight tea towel. Do the same with the other one and let them rise for about 30 minutes somewhere warm and draft free. When there's only 10 minutes to go on the rise, preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that's 356 degrees Fahrenheit or gas mark 4. I'm setting mine to 160 Celsius as my oven is fan assisted and it runs about 20 degrees Celsius hotter than indicated on the dial. Once the dough has risen, it's time to get them into the oven. But first I'll paste the dough with a fork. This is mainly for traditional aesthetic reasons. What bakers used to do, and some still do, is poke a hole in the centre of the Stottie with a finger. Right, I'll put them into the preheated oven and set the timer initially for 8 minutes. After that, I'll turn them round for even cooking and bake them for a further 6 minutes. And after that last 6 minutes, the bread is cooked but still looks a bit light in colour, so I'll give them another couple of minutes just to brown them off a bit. And they look much better, so I'll get them onto a wire rack to cool. Now when I was a kid, and I'm talking over 60 years ago, I remember these Stotties being on the heavy and dry side. But back then they filled you up when times were hard. The name Stottie comes from the word stot, S-T-O-T-T, meaning to bounce. So if you dropped your Stottie cake back then, it was likely to be undamaged due to its robust construction. But don't let that put you off having a go at these, because these days, with a few minor alterations, they're softer, lighter and much more delicious than they were back then. In my experience, I found the best way to store these is in polythene bags, as it keeps them soft for longer. They also freeze very well too. I'll cut one open so you can have a look at the inside of it. It has a tight crumb and is very soft, and it's ideal for making sandwiches with. Well, that's it for part 1 of this recipe. The second part is making the perfect accompaniment to this bread, and that's homemade ham and peas pudding. So hope you'll join me for that. Well, thanks again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, hit the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. In the meantime, here's a few of my other videos you may want to watch. So, until the next time, bye for now.